Seems to be a nation now where women and children live in constant fear and are still plagued by gender-based violence. Olerato Mongale, 22 years old, was brutally murdered in a senseless act of violence that shocked South Africa. This crisis we face has been worsened too by the murder of 14-year-old Likona Forse, whose body was found yesterday in an open field in Roodepoort, west of Johannesburg. We look more closely this morning at the initiatives being taken to safeguard the vulnerable, hold offenders to account, and alter a culture that tolerates violence. Deputy Police Minister Dr. Polly Boshielo joins us now to talk more about the issue. Good morning, Deputy Minister, and thanks for being with us this morning. We saw you there at that funeral, and we were just talking off air about how difficult it would have been for the parents to have seen Olerato's body. You heard her mother reflect there on what her final moments would have been like, and you have some thoughts on that as well.
Good morning and good morning to your viewers. It was very tough day yesterday. Yes, I saw the body, and you can see that the person who was killing her was very angry with her, and she fought. You can see she fought. But the question that I'm asking is, do you really have to fight that hard to kill a person? Yes, it was very, very painful, and we could not hold it.
We know from the latest reports that we get from your police personnel, Deputy Minister, that the hunt is still on for another suspect in this matter, Bongani Mthimkhulu. Just talk to us about whether there have been any developments over the last 24 hours in this investigation.
The PC, Provincial Commissioner of KwaZulu-Natal, Mkhwanazi, assured us that is going to get Bongani very, very soon, but we'll also advise Bongani to really come to the nearest police station before we find him, because we are looking for him, alive or dead. We can't allow this kind of thing to happen, and we want to send a message that you are not going to do this kind of thing and you just roam the street like we did with the perpetrator whom we found. So he must just surrender himself. We are busy on his sales. Yes, we've got leads. It's just that we don't want to jeopardize them, but we're getting him.
Again, I mean, you said that you want him alive or dead. I think there are some concerns, Deputy Minister. I know that the Provincial Police Commissioner has been, quite strong in his pushback against people who criticize police in the field in circumstances which are hard to predict, where there's a high-value suspect potentially that you aren't able to take in alive, who will be able to share details on the crime itself. Are you suggesting that by any means, you would bring the suspect in? You use the term alive or dead.
There is no policeman who goes to work to kill. We normally, as we look at the Constitution in terms of our mandate 205, we protect, we serve, and then we make sure that we arrest and make a person go through all the legal processes that he has to go through. But once you take out a gun and voice policemen, I don't think they can sing the national anthem. They are going to retaliate to protect themselves and also protect their colleagues. So I want to deal with this notion that police just wake up and want to kill or want to kill. No, it's when you yourself fight or take out a gun and want to kill them. They must protect themselves.
There are some systemic issues, Deputy Minister, that I want to come to next within the police, and what can aid or hinder their ability to be as effective as they potentially can. We had this report from a year ago with the Public Protector talking about justice and police systems, how they together are failing victims of gender-based violence. In that report, it was revealed that more than 140 police stations, you find them mostly in rural and high-risk areas, were still operating without victim-friendly rooms, for example, in cases of GBV. What progress can you report in this regard? Has this changed?
Yes, it has changed a lot. As of now, we have about 1,163 police stations, And most of them have the victim-friendly room. Where there is no victim-friendly room, they've designated an office, and then they've made it comfortable and safe so that a perpetrator can be able to feel safe. And let me tell you, in terms of the budget or the resources, there will never be enough, because as you know, budget must deal with other issues, not only the police. But with what we have, and working together with the communities, working together with the NGOs, working together with everybody, because these people who do these heinous acts, they live with us. They are our partners. They are our children. Like the mother who tipped the son that the police are looking for him. I think we can work together. We don't need necessarily all the resources which we might not have, but working together we can do. I went to Toyando. I met with the king, the Kgoshi, the Butobela Mpapudi. I met the church leaders. I met children, school children. I met everybody, and all of us agreed that enough is enough. This is our responsibility. We need to be able to take this issue
Yeah.
up. And I'm happy that you, as the media, are also coming along, no longer blaming, but making sure that you spread the words and be able to assist us in dealing with some of the issue. I'm very impressed, and I commend Newsroom for this.
And we appreciate that, but it has to go back to the systemic issue around what is it that police have changed in the way that police stations are equipped. For example, you mentioned that now in areas where you don't have a designated victim-friendly room, that officers are allocated. What numbers can you share, Deputy Minister, to show that this is happening? And in fact, any police station that you would then go through across the country, a person who's reporting a gender-based violence crime is going to be handled correctly. So is that a 140 gap now being closed?
It has been closed, but I honestly don't want to give you incorrect information. If I knew you wanted that information, I would give you, but I'll still send it to you. I'll send it to Mbali. I don't want to guess and give you incorrect information, because you're talking to the nation. You need to be truth about what you are talking about.
Because we have to move away from just messaging, Deputy Minister, and platitudes in a way to see actually what's structurally changing on the ground. The other disturbing aspect of that report was that it stated that police officials themselves are reluctant to register cases, but worse than that, also fail to inform victims of their legal rights. What disciplinary actions have been taken, if any, against SAPS members who have turned away victims or failed to follow protocols as designated in the Domestic Violence Act?
Yeah, for sure, you know that there is an IPIT, which is responsible for looking at the conduct of the police, and also in terms of the punishment or correctional way in which they could be able to assist them. Yes, there are police who are not doing their work, but the IPIT able to take them through disciplinary hearing, and then they are punished in one way or the other. But also, if it is serious, for sure you have seen we have arrested most of our own when they are doing what they are not supposed to do. So indeed, we have also policemen who we have arrested. Some are serving prisons because they did not do what they are supposed to do. But some we take them through training so that they know how to open the docket. It's just that a policeman is not like a social worker. They deal with criminals and all those dangerous things, the drugs and everything. So when a woman comes in and come and report a rape, they might not have that understanding or empathy to say what we're talking about. What we are doing in that regard, we are having discussions with the Department of Social Development. We have met with the minister to say we would request that at least in each and every police station, where possible, there should be a social worker, so that as they come in to report, rather than waiting for our counselors to come, they should find a social worker there. And a social worker can also go into the communities and understand the social ills, the economic conditions there,
Yeah.
and then be reactive rather than active.
Deputy Minister, I want to come in there. I don't mean to be ungracious, but as I said, we want to move away from conversations that are about, creating or sharing the desire of police or the institution itself to be able to do things, and really get into the specifics around dealing with the very specific issues that have been shared not only in those reports but also through victims themselves. So therefore I'm asking very specific questions on police officers who failed to follow protocol, SOPs within the police. How many are there, and what active action has been taken against there? I was hoping that you would be able to provide those numbers, even on the victim-sensitive rooms, to be able to provide the specificity and the detail around what is actually happening. Because what we want to do is share with people who take that brave step in actually reporting their crimes, give them the assurance that when they enter any police station around the country, they will be treated with the care as mandated by law that they deserve. Not the possibility that they may be treated well, but and potentially the reality that they will be turned away and treated badly.
Iman, I said, if you had wanted those numbers, you could have given me, and I would given you the correct one. I don't want to come here and start guessing, and then something is not right. I will give the information to Mbali as the one that invited me to come. But I'm saying to you specifically, there is an organization called IPIT, which deals with the police that do wrong. People can go there. They are independent from South African Police Services, where they can go there and report the police, like the ones of the deputy president that were found guilty by the processes inside, and they are no longer doing that job and doing something else. So I'm not saying I don't know the numbers, but the information that said I must come here did not say I must come with that number, and I could give it at any time. And in terms of talking, we were in a meeting of the JCPS cluster last week, and even Advocate Batoi came to me and said, Deputy Minister, I think this is what we wanted. I said to our colleagues, we've got the nice policies, we've got everything, and we can sit down and talk and have meetings until Jesus comes. It's high time all of us goes out in the street and be able to talk to people so that we confront these issues. It is a national crisis, and it needs to be tackled as such. So that is why today I saw our Minister of Justice was also here. Yesterday I was with the Minister of Children, Minister Chikunga, and the Premier of Free State. And we agreed that we are going to have more programs in order to ensure that we cover the whole of South Africa and say that this is not on. Unfortunately, this kind of acts, they normally happen behind closed doors and by people who are known by perpetrators. It's very rare, like the one of Olorado. You could see the turnaround was almost a week. We're able to get what is going on, even got the car in KwaZulu-Natal when it happened in Johannesburg. So yeah, we are able to do that. So, but if you want just the numbers, yes, you can just send it to me. I can give you as soon as possible as you want them. So
I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Deputy Minister, and we'll certainly follow up on that. But I just think that given that this is a crisis in our country, it's one of the marquee issues that your department is dealing with. Just, we would have expected, those conversations and that not, breaking down those silos between both justice, social development, IPID and yourselves, that you would be having these conversations where you're almost on top of things. You have the numbers at your fingertips almost, given that people are dying daily by the hour in South Africa. It's not something that, is in a cupboard or in a drawer somewhere that you'd need to get those numbers. Having said that, though, that's fine, and we'll circle back with your office. We also heard from that IPID, from that report from the Public Protector, that gender sensitivity and GBV awareness among officers is also poor. What concrete steps then are being taken beyond training orders to change the culture in SAPS and ensure lasting accountability?
Yes, besides showing them, that's what I'm saying, they're working together with the councillors, they themselves also. Sometimes with the things that they see and do, they need some counseling. About a month ago, we had a wellness summit where we called psychologists or specialists who are dealing with wellness, medical aids, and or academics to come and talk to us in terms of how do we do with those members that are really traumatized and they are not able to empathize with people who really want help from the police services. And they have made recommendations, and we are implementing those recommendations.
That report had given 6 months since June. It was out in June last year, so by last year things would have changed. I mean, just talk to us then about how the protocols in terms of reforms and mandated trainings have been implemented.
Which report? The summit report?
Now, I'm talking about the Public Protector's report in June of last year, which exposed all of these systemic failures. They'd given police 6 months to make some of those changes in regard to mandated training and reforms, saying that these should be implemented. What progress has been made in changing the way that SAPS personnel are trained?
That's what part of the program I'm saying. The wellness one, just to call the social workers to be able to deal with them, the training part, but also in terms of reorientating them to say, how do we deal with this kind of cases when they are reported? Now they know that if somebody comes and said they are raped or what, they then take them to the friendly rooms and call our FCS to come and deal with them, where they are pre-cancelled, and after pre-cancelling, they are then taken to the relevant hospital to do all the tests, and then thereafter, they still cancel them and give them the 3 sessions after that until they can see that they are well.
Deputy Minister, before I let you go, what message do you have then for survivors who are watching this morning, who really believe the system does not protect them and won't protect them?
I don't think we should come with that note, Iman. I think all of us must join together to be able to deal with this cash. It's not that we are not helping them. After the issue of Olorato, more than 20 women came up and said we were scammed by the same person who was calling himself John on Facebook, and then he also robbed them some money. We also find about 27 ID card on him, which he was using to do that. So now, at least people are coming out and reporting, and I can see that is because they see this movement and will never even stop to be able to listen to them and also take their cases. Myself, I get cases where people said, for 2 years I've not been helped, or 4 years I've been not helped. I don't blame, I just take the information and make sure that I assist them in terms of what needs to be done. So we will continue to do that. But among us, like any other organization, there are people who will not be able to do their job properly, who will just be bad potatoes. And our job is to remove some of those and put the ones who are ready to serve our people.
Deputy Minister, it's the rule, not the exception, that people aren't treated well by police and in the justice system itself. That's well documented in South Africa. It's not an exception. And yes, it really is amazing when police work does work out, perpetrators are brought to book and families can get closure. But we have a problem in our country. We are dealing with among the highest femicide rates in South Africa, highest rates of intimate partner violence. We have a real problem. I'm saying, what is the message to people who are sitting at home who this morning don't believe they will be helped? What are you saying to them directly?
I'm saying to them, the president of the country, realizing what you are saying also and what we have been saying to him from the JCPS cluster, have declared 90 days of GBV as a national crisis. As a result, more resources have been put in, and then we've got programs that we're going to do in terms of awareness. Like I'm saying, we have started in Toyando to do that, and we'll be going to others with all other ministers, not one minister and not the other. The justice system, we want to strengthen our justice system. We have partnership with the NPA in terms of prioritizing cases of GBV, and so they can still come back to us and will be able to do that. This is a national crisis indeed, and the president has said that, and we are looking at it as a national crisis.
Dr. Polly Boshielo, thank you for talking to us this morning. Appreciate your time. It's the Deputy Police Minister joining us there.